In a crowded Lagos household, a woman silently sweeps the floor. Children run past, plates crash, and neighbors whisper from outside the window. Her husband laughs at a joke his sisters make, their eyes rolling in mockery. Everyone ignores her, everyone underestimates her, but the woman everyone mocked was the one holding everything together. Ngozi had been married to Chinedu for 10 years. 10 years of unnoticed labor, 10 years of whispered insults, 10 years of putting everyone else first. Every morning, she woke before the sun, prepared breakfast for the children, cleaned the house, and sent Chinedu off to work with a smile. Every evening, she counted coins and bills at the dimly lit table, making sure her children had food and school supplies. Her sisters-in-law mocked her relentlessly. "Ngozi, you do so much for nothing. Chinedu doesn't even notice," they would say, laughing behind her back. Her mother-in-law sighed often, shaking her head as if disappointed. Chinedu rarely defended her. Yet Ngozi endured because she had learned long ago that strength didn't need validation. At night, as she counted her savings, she whispered a quiet prayer. "One day they will see my worth. One day they will know who truly holds this family together." One evening, at a family dinner, Chinedu's sisters whispered and laughed, openly mocking Ngozi's plain dress and humble demeanor. She served the food carefully, lips pressed in a polite smile. Chinedu laughed at their jokes, oblivious to her pain. "Look at her, still serving like a servant," one sister said, loud enough for Ngozi to hear. Her heart ached, but she kept her composure. Confrontation brought only chaos. Patience was her weapon. Yet the humiliation stung more than she let on. Each dismissive glance, each whispered insult reminded her of the sacrifices she had made. Everything changed the day Vanessa appeared. Elegant, confident, and stylish, she walked into Chinedu's office at a corporate event. Her presence was magnetic, drawing attention from everyone in the room, including Chinedu. Ngozi noticed the subtle glances between her husband and Vanessa. She stayed silent, observing. She didn't confront, she didn't react. She understood that a storm was approaching and she would need to face it with strategy and patience. Weeks later, Ngozi's fears were confirmed. One night, she discovered messages on Chinedu's phone, Vanessa's name flashing on the screen. Compliments turned to flirtations, casual inquiries into secret meetings. Her heart raced, tears forming, but she did not cry aloud. She realized she had been betrayed by the man she loved, the person she had devoted her life to. But Ngozi always knew her worth, and she knew that acting impulsively would solve nothing. She silently vowed to rise above the pain. At another family dinner celebrating Chinedu's promotion, Vanessa attended, elegantly dressed and laughing confidently. Ngozi served food quietly, smiling politely despite the whispers and glances from relatives. Her mother-in-law shook her head in disapproval. Her sisters smirked. Each insult and slight was a reminder of the years Ngozi endured, yet her calm eyes reflected something they could not see. She was stronger than they ever imagined. At dawn, Ngozi packed her belongings. Her children slept peacefully, unaware of the silent storm brewing in their home. She glanced back at the apartment, her battlefield, sanctuary, and prison, and walked out with calm determination. Her departure wasn't out of rage, it was out of wisdom. She had survived humiliation, betrayal, and mockery. Now it was time for her to reclaim her life. Chinedu's life began to unravel. Vanessa's charm could only carry him so far. Work suffered, relationships faltered, and his colleagues began to notice the cracks in his confidence. Slowly, the laughter and pride he once held turned to regret. He realized too late that the woman he dismissed had been the glue holding his life together. Every failure reminded him of her sacrifices. He was blind to her strength until it was gone. Ngozi opened her own boutique, specializing in handmade African crafts and clothing. Customers flocked to her store, drawn to her warmth, intelligence, and elegance. She smiled freely now, no longer confined by mockery or the shadow of betrayal. Her children thrived under her care, excelling in school and inspired by her mother's resilience. Ngozi had not only survived, she had flourished, transforming pain into power. Years later, Chinedu approached her at a business event, visibly regretful. "Ngozi, I was blind," he said, his voice trembling. Ngozi stood tall, radiating calm confidence. "You should have seen my strength when you didn't," she replied softly. The crowd watched, sensing the shift in power. For once, everyone understood who truly held everything together. Ngozi walked away from the event, the sunset casting golden light over the city skyline. Her head was held high, her steps confident. Behind her lay betrayal, pain, and mockery. Ahead was triumph, empowerment, and freedom. The wife everyone mocked had been the one holding everything together all along.